Welcome to Dysfunctional Adults, the comedy podcast in which we discuss weird news, pop culture, and being middle-aged dads. I am your host, John, and these are my co-hosts, Jason.
Hello!
And Zach.
I concur.
We are bitter, cynical Gen Xers saddled with crippling debt and depressingly past our primes. But that's what makes this podcast so much fun. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up? Nice. Cracking a nice, tall...
Cracking a cold one already.
Cold one.
Yep. Nothing but the best for me.
Donkey piss.
You know it.
Chilled donkey piss.
Yeah, man.
I think it's the title of this episode now.
Chilled donkey piss.
So, yeah. How is everybody?
Fantastic.
How
Can't
come
complain.
no one has noticed?
You're older?
You've gained weight?
No, probably. But I have new glasses.
Hey, there you go.
Yep. They are...
I'm like, Jason wore glasses?
I never look at him anymore either.
This whole time, I've known you 30 some odd years.
They are
I
thicker...
never noticed you wore glasses.
Well, that's okay. They are thicker and heavier. And the doctor told me that without them on at night, I'm legally blind. So I've reached that stage of maturity where, you know.
Nice.
So your birthday, you actually aged 5 years
I
this time.
guess. So, but...
Did you ask to do the dual monocle thing?
Yeah, they just said those are glasses.
Well, they wouldn't be attached to each other. You'd have to...
Yeah.
They'd be attached by a string. And they'd pop out when you got surprised.
Right.
Yeah. You know how people take their glasses off for effect? You could just take off one monocle, and then if something's really messed up, like you take off both at the same time.
Oh, dear Lord.
Or just get LASIK in one eye and go with a monocle in the other.
You know, I don't think I can get LASIK. My eyes have astigmatism. That's kind of bad. So if I did, it would probably just improve my vision slightly.
Pay me $50 and we'll find out.
All right, let's do it. I'll get you a laser pen.
Sweet.
Anyway, that's my thing. New glasses, and I've got a Fitbit now. So
Yay!
all it does is flash your fat on the screen. So
You're like, I just want to know the time. It's
Right.
like, no, you're fat, and that's all you need to know.
It just like shorts out when it tries to take my calorie burn. It's like 1 calorie burn.
Like, it doesn't encourage you to take more steps. It just reminds you how few steps you are taking. Like, I took 9 steps today.
It flashes on the screen. Really?
Really?
It's like 9, Jason. It's like a trip to the bathroom and back.
Yeah. Well, So, but yeah, it was my birthday, and I got a Fitbit, and yeah.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm not saying it.
You should say it.
All right, happy birthday.
I'm old. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me, jerk. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me. What about you two? Long drawn out silence.
I have a weekend to myself this weekend. Well,
Oh.
not myself. I have the kids, so it's going to be a father-son's weekend. My wife is doing a girls' trip by herself this weekend, so it's
She's not going with
me and
anybody?
the kids. Nope.
Oh, wow.
It's a interesting story, which you probably wouldn't want me to tell, but maybe.
So do tell.
Well, I love my wife. She's a wonderful person. One thing about
That being said,
one quirk.
I'm not racist, but
It's like that, yeah. One quirk about her is she is a stickler for fairness in every way.
it's a millennial thing.
Well, it's like she's a very tit for tat type person. I don't
I went
necessarily.
to that bar once.
I don't mean that in like a bad way, but like everything has to balance out exactly. Like, okay, if she does a chore, the next time this specific chore, I have to do it just because she did it this time. I can't just. I mean, it doesn't matter if I did other chores that equal out or whatever. She did this exact chore this time, so I have to do this exact chore the next time. And it's like that with hanging out with friends too. Whenever I hang out with friends, she's like, well, I'm going to go hang out with friends then. So, go ahead. I'm totally fine with that. I've told her so many times, you can hang out with friends whenever you want. You don't have to do it in direct response to when I do it. Like, when our kids were younger, we'd try and watch how often we were away from home, because watching 2 babies and a toddler by yourself is hard.
I can't imagine.
That is exhausting. But now that they're 6 and 9, the kids pretty much watch themselves. They just play games or watch TV all day. It really doesn't matter if there's 2 parents there or 1. They do their own thing anyway.
Right.
And even like dinner and stuff, they don't eat when we cook for them anyways. All they ever eat is like Hot Pockets or pizza rolls or chicken nuggets anyway. And they can, no matter what we make, they just want chicken nuggets. So they can microwave those themselves. So it's not hard to be watching the kids by ourselves anymore.
Sure.
But she likes things, she needs things to balance out. So like when my sister's kind of become my hiking buddy this summer. I've gone on several hikes with her, and every time I say, hey, I've been texting my sister, we're going to go hiking on Sunday. You cool with that? She's like, okay, well, if you do that, I'm going to go hiking with a friend of mine on Saturday. She doesn't even like hiking, but whatever. So she calls around, finds a friend to go hiking with. And it's not like out of spite.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like an OCD quirk of her.
I think there's some spite in it.
Well,
it sounds like there's some spite.
I don't want to say that because I really think she's okay with me going for the most part. But yeah, it needs to balance out. And like this podcast, when I let her know I'm going to be hanging out with Jason and Zach every weekend or every Wednesday to do the podcast.
That's why she's been hanging out with us on Thursdays.
No, but she does have a day booked with one of her friends now for every Thursday. She's like, if you're going to make that an every week thing, I'm going to book something every week with my friends. I think some of this time she expects me to argue with it, but each time I'm like, no, you're cool. Go ahead and do it. And she's kind of doesn't know how to react to that because I don't think that's the answer she was expecting. So she has like a appointment to hang out with one of her friends every Thursday in direct response to this podcast. They rarely actually do hang out, but the day's set aside just in case.
And they're not nearly as funny as we are, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure that no, not at all. But anyway, that's what this trip was. And it's become like a game of chicken, kind of, to see who swerves. Because I don't think she really wants to go. I think at this point, she just can't admit that. Like, because I'm going for a trip in September. I'm doing the Moab Century Tour bike ride. Mm-hmm. And when she came with me to do that a few years back, I mean, she's not as active as me. She can't, this is like a 4-hour bike ride. She can't keep up with me on that. So she just waited in the car the whole time.
Why just put her in a red wagon and tow her?
It's extra calories to burn.
There's that. And so she just sat in the car and waited the whole time. And then, you know, when I got back and I wanted to do the hikes and stuff, she couldn't do some of the more moderate hikes I wanted to do too. So she waited in the car for that too. And even though she said it was fine, I felt bad that she spent the whole weekend in the car. And so I said, okay, well, next time I do this, I can just go by myself. It's okay. I don't want you to just sit in the car the whole time. I don't want to feel guilty and have to try and feel like I have to hurry when I want to do it at my own pace. And so she seems fine with that. But since I'm doing the weekend by myself, she gets a weekend by herself, damn it. And so she says, okay, well, I'm just going to go to Bear Lake by myself one weekend. And again, I think she expected me to argue. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, have fun with that. And so, you know, a few weeks passed. She's like, hey, well, I'm booking the Bear Lake trip. Okay, have fun. It's like, really, I'm going to book her right now. It's like, here's the credit card. Have fun, honey. You're totally fine.
Can I marry you?
It's been like a game of chicken, but now it's getting to crunch time. She's like 2 days away from this trip, and she's dropping all these hints that I don't think she really wants to go. She's like, you know, if you want me to help you stay home and watch the kids, I'm okay with that. Just let me know. I'm really okay with it. I'm like, no, you're good. I'm totally fine with it. I got plans with them. We're going to be okay. Another couple days passed. She's like, you know, when I made these plans, I didn't realize it was the first week of school for the kids. So yeah, maybe it's best if I help you with the kids this weekend. I'm like, no, you're good. Have fun. I got this. I think she wants me to tell her, honey, it's best if you cancel. So then she'd be like, okay, if you say so. Whereas really, I don't think she really even wants to go anymore.
That's awesome.
But she doesn't want to admit that. She wants me to do it for her, and I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm not being disingenuous.
No.
I really am okay with her going.
Sure.
But I'm not going to give her the out where she... If she doesn't want to go, she just needs to say that.
Sure.
I'm not... Yeah. I don't want this to come up later like, you know, I canceled my
my
Bear Lake trip for you.
I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to come up later in one form or another.
It will.
Being recorded.
But yes, now I'm 2 days away. I'm 50-50 if her trip is even going to happen. It's been booked for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And if it does happen,
can she
I
even
doubt
cancel at this point, though?
We probably can't get our money back if she does.
Yikes. Yeah.
But she's not the type that even likes to be alone.
Sure.
Like, I've got the independent streak, whatever. I don't mind being alone. I've never had like a close hiking buddy or bike riding buddy. So most of the time when I do that stuff, I do it by myself anyway. I can be by myself for a whole weekend and have plenty of fun.
Sure.
She's not that type. She likes being around people. I don't even know what she's going to do by herself for a whole weekend. I don't think she's going to enjoy it, but I don't think she's going to admit that either. So,
right. Huh.
So yeah,
I'm curious to hear how this plays
Yeah,
out.
let's get the sequel next
So
time.
I can give an update next week.
Sweet.
Oh man, marriage counseling. I foresee it.
No, it's like I say, it's a great marriage. This is not like a sore subject or anything. I mean, yeah, she probably half jokingly get annoyed with me for saying all this, but nothing that wouldn't blow over. But
that's funny.
But I've told her these things before. Like I said, you can hang out with friends whenever you want. Every time you do, it doesn't need to be a direct response to balance out something that I'm doing.
It's like the Cold War. We increase our nuclear arsenal. Russia does, and it's back and forth.
I increased my nuclear arsenal when I was married.
Oh, you saw that email too, huh?
Yeah.
It worked for you?
Yeah.
It just gave me a rash.
Well, no, the rash comes with it.
Oh, okay.
You have to touch the boils.
Ah, gross.
So yeah, that's gonna be my upcoming weekend. I have a weekend, just a boys' weekend, I guess you call.
That sounds
Call it.
fun. Yeah.
Just me and my sons figure out
That's
some
great.
stuff to do, unless she comes back early, which is
A likely
a likelihood.
possibility.
But she's supposedly staying 2 nights at a cabin in Bear Lake, and
Change the locks. You wanted your weekend, you got it.
you can even take a long weekend. No, I'm curious how this turns out, because I think she expected me to swerve months ago and say, no, don't go. I mean,
Yeah.
and I didn't. I stuck with it.
I remember wanting some alone time when I was married. I like that alone time to kind of center myself. Nothing bad about the other person.
No.
Well, anyway.
Well, in hindsight,
Yeah.
But nothing at a time.
I'm sorry.
And it's not that I need time away from my wife. I
Right.
love spending time with her.
Right.
But I don't mind having time away. If I end up having to do this stuff by myself, it doesn't bother me. I'm totally okay with it.
Let the record show I'm taking ibuprofen. Want some?
I'm afraid. I know that's ecstasy.
It's Skittles. Sorry.
So yeah, marriage is a game of chicken sometimes.
Yeah. It certainly is.
See who swerves first.
I think the Dalai Lama said that. So, you guys been watching anything interesting or reading anything interesting or?
I've been watching some awful horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, badly written. A couple of, decent actors, and it always hurts to watch a decent actor read poorly written
Bad lines.
lines.
So like The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
You have Liam Neeson, Samuel L. Jackson, Natalie Portman,
But worse
Ewan McGregor. They got a lot of good actors in that. They just all have nothing to read.
But their dialogue, they weren't, spoon-feeding the audience the entire storyline before. I don't know how to... Sloppy writing, I guess, is
so.
what
What movies?
I can't remember the names. That's what I'm saying. They're on. It was on Amazon Prime, and so this is included in your Prime membership. Well, thanks. It was not very good, but yeah, no, it's not their fault. I don't know. I have nothing to say other than that. That's all I've been doing is watching crap.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I started listening to a 1,200-page fantasy novel by Brandon Sanderson. I haven't had a chance to listen to his stuff lately. I used to be an avid Audible listener, but now I have a job where basically I do data entry all day and then pointless meetings. So when the pointless meetings are going on or not going on, I get to listen to whatever I want. So I've become a big podcast aficionado, and also been listening to this book, and it's pretty good. I'm not going to go into details because that's not this kind of podcast, but it's been good.
How does our podcast rate amongst the podcasts that you listen to?
Ours is so much better.
There we go.
Some
That's
ways.
what I wanted to hear.
No bias at all. We are the greatest podcast of all time.
There's a couple comedy podcasts.
Isn't it amazing that we only have like maybe 30 listeners when
I
we're
know.
so awesome?
Everybody else
Right?
is missing out. I tell you what.
Yeah.
So-
People are, that's what it is. People want to keep us to themselves. They don't want to share because it's theirs. They want to own it.
I get that, yeah.
Yep.
I think it's funny that, there's some great podcasts out there. I'll tell you, one of the funniest ones, I think, besides ours, is This Paranormal Life. It's so funny. There's a couple of UK guys. I think they're from Ireland, actually, but they do paranormal cases, and they just joke about them. It's pretty funny. So
I didn't know you spoke British English.
I know. I read Harry Potter, so now I'm versed. So, but that's a pretty good one. And then the Ghost Story guys is really funny too. They have more serious storytelling, but their asides are hilarious. So you got a real question to a fake, or a real answer to a fake question. So there you go.
That was not a fake question. I wanted to know how we rate. I like to think we're funny.
I think we're definitely technically up there. I think we're just as funny as them, and in some cases, I think we're funnier. But we'll let the audience decide. Speaking of the audience,
Yes.
I think it's time that we read audience comments.
Well, we don't get good comments.
The good ones keep it to themselves.
Yes. Klaus, we've been counting on you. I just checked our analytics, and it still shows 1% of our audience is in Germany.
My uncle lives in Germany now. I wonder if he's listening to it. Maybe. If so, hi, Kevin. Or Shannon. Maybe it's Shannon.
Or shall we call you Klaus?
Klaus.
He's gone full German, right? He's wearing like lederhosen as we speak.
Yeah.
Doesn't even understand English anymore.
He's on top of a hill, like, blowing those trumpets, like in the Ricola commercials. Is that Germany?
Oh, I was thinking that was more like Switzerland or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Switzerland. The pussies of the world. Don't get involved in any wars. Ooh, we're neutral.
I'm sitting here thinking it's such a peaceful, what a wonderful utopia it probably is, and then you're over here, bashing them. Why aren't you warlike like us?
Bunch of cowards.
I like their cheese, and their pocket knives are cool.
Swiss cheese, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Even that can't commit to, a decision. Swiss cheese is either good or bad, but I don't know
no
which
in
one I'm
between.
eating it.
It's either a hole or it's not.
Right.
It's either nothing or it's cheese. They can't even...
Right.
Swiss Army knives are kind of cool, right? Back in the 80s.
I
I
guess.
don't know. I guess people that go outside use those things, huh?
When you had them when you were 10, they were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
Any knife was cool when you were 10.
It's true.
Hey, could you jiggle my mouse?
Yeah, just like that.
Just
Keep
like
doing
that.
that.
That was a metaphor.
He really, my screensaver came on.
No, he really jiggled his mouse. Just keep talking, Jason. Dig that hole, buddy.
So we are proud though that we now have comments, and we're going to share these comments on air.
There's not many.
There's some.
I deleted a bunch of stuff that was going on.
Oh, sad.
Just the finer points because it was pointless stuff, and it just really didn't. I realized early on in the world of Facebook advertising that people hate having ads on their extremely free social media site. Free being the key word.
The timeline is sacred, right?
The timeline is sacred, yeah. If you go on there with an ad and you're anything other than a bigwig ad, because I really doubt these people are...
Or if you have boobs in your ad.
Oh, right. If you have boobs, I really doubt they're going in there and crapping on these regular companies. They go after the small ones.
Yeah.
They're so angry that we paid money to advertise on their timeline. What they're not understanding is that Facebook's algorithms, when it comes to advertising, are fairly good and accurate. Yeah. There's a reason we're on your timeline, dumbass.
There's a reason I'm getting like Roman ads, for sexual dysfunction.
Absolutely.
They're like
Same
42
thing. And the
male.
waifu pillows, right? Yeah, me too, man. Wait, what?
Some of those I'm sending you, the waifu pillows.
Oh,
those are coming from me, but the rest of it,
thanks. Yeah. So these people get angry and they go on our post and just say mean things because they think it's gonna shake us, which it doesn't, because it's just an opportunity to make fun of them. But there was a bunch of angry emojis being thrown at a particular post, and it was the episode 8 sneak peek, I think, or no, was it the full episode?
With the pickle story, that's like one of the best Wait,
let me look.
We've had like the best feedback about John's pickle story. No, not that one. The family friendly one.
The not safe for work. Let's see here.
It really was more of a report of assault, not really a story.
Yeah, I did the it's the sneak peek of episode 8, so it's your pickle story. And there were a bunch of angry emojis on that one. Get this. These people were all over 59. Huh.
Lousy boomers.
So Jason got on. We both have access to the page, the Facebook page for Dysfunctional Adults.
And I can't pass up a good internet fight.
Right. And he asks a simple question: why are so many people angry at this post? Arthur Jaranek. I'd like to spell it for you and tell you where he lives, too.
Revenge?
Yeah.
Casting?
This is all I got. This is... Because it does not belong on my newsfeed. And then he adds a picture in, and it's this old woman looking somewhat, disdainfully in black and white. And it says, "That's nice, dear. Now go fuck yourself." So I had seen this and I got on and I said, "Arthur Jaranek," just making sure that you heard his name. First time on the internet? Hopefully they put some ads on your timeline for No Tears shampoo. Now, I just want everybody to know that as I'm reading these are funny to me. I'm not like butt hurt. I just think humans in general, are ridiculous creatures. And these are the people that call other people snowflakes and make fun of people needing safe spaces. But here we are on their timeline. All right. Let's see.
Their free Facebook platform.
Yes, exactly. Their free social media site. This other woman, Sharon Gaelic, Dysfunctional Adults Podcast. Because a majority of the Facebook community is fed up with these unwanted and irrelevant... Remember, they get the ads for a reason. These unwanted and irrelevant ads being shoved down our throats and flooding our newsfeed hundreds of times a day. We want you annoying advertisers to leave. Her and Mark Zuckerberg are done with this.
Got a little secret for you, sweetheart. If the ads leave, Facebook goes bye-bye.
Right.
How do you think your free platform exists?
I always like to throw back the terms that these people use back at them. So I just said, "Oh, on your free social media site, poor things, do you need a safe space?" And then she says, "My fucking newsfeed, dipshit, so yeah." Oh my god, you guys. On air, live on air, my comment goes against our community standards on a new one that just happened today. This guy gets on there, he's like, "Fuck your fucking podcast, and nobody wants to hear your garbage." So I responded with, "Is it suddenly snowing in here, or is that just you, Snowflake?" And I just got my comment going against the community standards for harassment and bullying.
Wait.
He didn't do anything.
Wait.
He was fine calling our art garbage. I called him a snowflake, and so
he reported us.
Probably.
Yeah, that's not an algorithm catch. That's a report.
Well,
we're bullies, guys.
What's that?
We're bullies.
Yeah, we're bullies.
This poor guy.
So, yeah. Oh, so let me see if I can go back now. continue.
You got a screen capture, though, didn't you? You sent us a screen capture in text of what he said, and then you said your snowflake thing.
Well, he didn't call us names, though. He just called our stuff garbage and swore, which I felt threatened, honestly. So, I don't know. Anyway. There we go. So let's go back here. Let me get out of my... I'm probably in jail. I was already in trouble once for telling Richard I was going to punch him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which was hilarious because I'm a 40-year-old man saying, I'm going to punch you to one of my oldest friends on Facebook. And I get the algorithm doesn't know that or whatever, but Richard probably reported it. Didn't you, Richard? But I get that it doesn't know the difference, but I appealed the decision to make my comment, a problem. I said, this is my oldest friend. Like, read the context. So they did, and they still found it to go against the community standards.
Such bull crap.
And I think that's funny because what 40-year-old man talks like that when he's threatening somebody? I'm gonna punch you. Like toddlers talk
you don't
like
tell
that.
them. You just do it out of the blue.
Right.
You're like, hey, look at that, and when they turn their head, that's when the shot comes from behind.
Right. Now, if I had been a 7-year-old kid saying this to another kid, yeah, when I appealed it, then say, yeah, no, this is bullying or whatever. But, like, I told you what the situation was. In context, there was nothing wrong with what I said.
No.
Yeah, anyway.
That's okay. I got a post taken down because it had misinformation. It was about how we believe that our politicians sacrifice victims to the sun god, virgin victims, and they took it down because it was not correct. So, Aztec.
Oh.
Yeah, do you remember that one?
Yes.
I can't remember exactly how it went, but no. The Aztecs used to sacrifice their political leaders to the sun god, and we should do the same or something like that. And they took it down because it was misinformation. So it was really stupid. So.
Nice. Well, my account is restricted for 24 hours on Facebook as of right now.
Can you still post in Dysfunctional Adults?
Oh, I doubt it because I'm directly linked. So, Mr. Ward, Patrick Ward, was that his name?
Yes.
Mr. Ward, I'll find you. And I'll punch you.
In the PP. Your duty head.
Take that, Mark Zuckerberg and Patrick Ward. Oh, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I hope he's okay. I hope I really didn't hurt his feelings calling him a snowflake.
He's like hanging right now with an orange extension cord.
And he's one of these dudes that literally has as his his whole Facebook is closed down. Of course I stalked him.
Yeah.
His whole Facebook is closed down. You can't see his friends. You can't see any information on him.
He doesn't have any.
Probably. It's like mom is his only friend. And she's dead. But his profile picture is that of a wolf.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Those
are
are
the kind of people.
Cool.
Oh, sorry.
That makes him cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's probably a lone wolf,
Yeah. Not by choice.
It's people like that make me wish that I had hacking skills, like I was an actual hacker and I could hack into his Facebook account and change his profile picture to Weasel from
Suicide Squad.
I am the wolf,
eyes.
Yeah. So there ended our fun of harassing them back. Apparently it's okay if they do it.
And you got a live Facebook banning on air. That's awesome.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. I would have never thought to make something like that up.
That's hilarious.
I'm actually bummed. I like being on Facebook.
I'll see you in 24 hours.
Yeah. I'm probably going to miss out on so many memes to shitpost.
You need a second account,
Oh, I have 3. I'll say it on air because nobody else gives a shit. I have one that's a pigeon named Floyd Featherworth.
Ah, that's you.
Yeah, it's me. Of course it's me. I have a naked mole rat named Scrody Skinnerd.
Yep.
And I have a fly named Nicky Six Legs.
Yeah.
They're all me. I have a 4th. No, I don't have a 4th one.
My brother had 2, and so that's why I wasn't sure if it was him or not.
Oh, okay.
And since we're not speaking, I thought maybe he was trying to reach out,
really awkward way.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm a fake fly.
Right, because he had 2 fake ones that were animals also.
Yeah.
And then my son Ben has 3 accounts. He's got his, and then he's got one for his dog Annabelle and one for his dog Paisley.
Oh, I'm so glad you reminded me of my other accounts. I'm going to befriend this guy with my other accounts.
Oh,
then
dude.
I'm going to friend all of his friends, and then I'm going to invite them all to enjoy Dysfunctional Adults.
No, dude, you got to catfish him. You got to find a hot girl on Google. Don't ask him for money or anything. But
Oh,
just,
I wanted to, though.
Well, tell him how
If I can get money out of it, imagine telling that story on the podcast.
Get him to support the podcast.
And tell him where his hard-earned money went. Oh, that would be worth going to
I think
jail
we have
for.
a mission. We have a mission here.
That would be worth it.
start by telling him how cool wolves are.
Oh, your profile picture's dope, bro. Don't tread on me.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well,
That was fun.
That was fun. I got some good news for you guys, though.
Wait,
Good news.
do we get to guess or?
No, I'm going to tell you. So, last week, a popular internet platform got a policy change where they could no longer feature adult content.
Like I don't know immediately.
And there was weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. A bunch of incels, struck back. They've reversed their decision
Have they
because
really?
because of all the horny losers out there.
Dude, no, they realize they're gonna lose so much
right.
money.
Well, that's their main.
Dude, nobody thinks OnlyFans and goes, oh yeah, I'd like to look at this one, like a guy that actually paints on canvas there
Right.
without his wiener. Nobody thinks that.
No.
Everybody knows it's associated with boobs.
It's all.
Yeah.
I saw a pretty funny TikTok with this girl. Like, she showed herself quitting her job, just this like college girl, and then shows her going back and asking for her job back. But I did hear a story on a podcast today about a lady who made 6 figures on OnlyFans, and
I've heard a lot of stories like that because of Reddit.
so I would like to announce today the Dysfunctional Adults OnlyFans.
I'm in.
We're featuring our dad bods.
I'm in. I've always wanted to show all of this treasure off.
We're gonna have a feature called Dad Wieners.
That is like the worst combination of words that I've heard in a long time, and I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
That's really good.
I didn't think very long or hard.
You don't have to, because it's neither.
Yeah, just
Oh,
ruined
sad. What's that ad for that dysfunctional Roman thing again? This podcast is sponsored by Roman
I
for
wish.
erectile dysfunction.
Maybe then I'd get a discount on my orders. That's not a joke. I literally just got finasteride for my hair and boner pills.
Nice. You're ready to mingle?
I'm so glad my mom listens to this podcast. I'm glad I just... And no, it's for me by myself.
Well, my wife loves horses, and she actually took riding lessons for like a year. So
I'm just thinking ED meds and horses. Where are you going?
I'm bridging it, okay?
Okay.
Because you said you're by yourself, right?
ED meds for horses.
Well, she showed me a video, and this is like a
This is getting worse.
it's like
Keep going, though.
scientific thing. It wasn't anything freaky, but apparently there is a procedure in the horse breeding industry where you will milk the stallion.
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, I saw it, and I can't unsee it. So essentially, they they get the stallion, and they have some mares like parading around, but not inaccessible to get the stallion excited. You gotta wiggle my mouse again. Bad timing.
This is funny every time.
I think it's a perfect timing.
There is a machine that they have where the stallion will mount the machine and make love to it.
So it's like a gigantic fleshlight, kind of.
It is a gigantic.
A horse
fleshlight.
Finally,
Size
one to
flashlight.
fit you, John.
So when you said by yourself, I'm thinking,
A horse milking machine? Thank you.
just don't turn it on too high.
Lest I be sucked in all the way.
Lest you end up in the emergency room with a funny story.
How did he get all the way into the machine?
Well, we can reattach it, but it's never going to be the same. Here's popsicle sticks and duct tape.
John, are you a doctor?
I just drove you to John's house.
Perfect.
Gave him this white coat.
He comes out wearing nothing but the lab coat and a stethoscope. That's it.
I saw that movie.
Oh,
Yes, I'm Dr. Sexy.
You were an actor, so...
Well, I suppose.
I think John could get away with an OnlyFans.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just, like, literally doing mundane things. You don't
With
have to
your
take
shirt
your clothes
off.
off.
No, with your shirt
I
off.
mean, you could.
Like in
so, like,
slow
for
motion?
extra... Yeah.
He's just like eating cereal or
That would be the PPV
watching
pay-per-view.
TV for like 6
Dribble
hours.
some milk down your sweaty chest.
So comment if you want John to have an OnlyFans.
I'll be commenting, too, after my ban is lifted.
Maybe like working in the yard, like really sweaty, like wiping my brow slowly. And...
Diet Coke break. Remember those commercials? You're the new Diet Coke spokesperson.
Do you guys remember that Saturday Night Live skit with Chris Farley and Adam Sandler for the Schmitz Gay beer?
No.
So they're just like hanging out by a pool, and they open the beer, and a bunch of like beefcake guys appear, and it's Schmitz Gay is what it was called, and I don't know, it was super funny. But we had someone post a GIF from it, and at work,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't get in trouble. I'm like, I know what that's from, and I don't think that flies nowadays. And
Right.
anyway, so, but I got reported for posting a thing of George Takei saying, "Oh my."
That is that story, honestly, we haven't told it online. Or
I've mentioned it a couple
like it's
times.
Mine. Oh, have you?
It was
Okay.
actually a package deal. I got reported for only once, but for talking about pushing my cousin down the stairs when I was 5, posting George Takei GIF. I think that was it. So those 2 things.
Yeah.
So
Somehow doing "Oh my" with George Takei is racist. It's not.
well, 3 weeks later there was that Asian shooting, and so somebody went back 3 weeks and were like, "Oh," and reported it after the fact.
Oh my hell.
They were just upset with me. So
Yeah, they had a vendetta.
Yep. So anyway, but we don't have a vendetta with.
Patrick Ward.
I was gonna say Anchor because we're gonna cut to our ad now.
Nice segue.
I'm learning, man. I'm learning. We'll be right back. Enjoy the ad, Patrick. You little bitch.
Come get me with your Facebook community standards now, asshole. Oh, it just makes for great podcast
It does.
material, that stuff. They
just
don't
feed
realize
they
they're
feed the
fueling
fire.
it. It's funny.
Oh man.
Patrick.
All right, welcome back to Dysfunctional Adults.
Patrick.
Patrick.
I hope you're listening.
He is now. And all that stuff we said about catfishing, and we're just joking, so it can't be used as state's evidence against us. So
Yeah, this is an artistic endeavor. It's artistic license and comedy. Like, chill out, Patrick. Okay.
So John and I, just real quick, I forgot to talk about this in the first segment. We both saw Free Man with
Free Guy.
Oh,
Free Guy,
you
sorry.
guys!
Ryan
I'm
Reynolds.
so excited. Don't spoil anything.
It's pretty funny.
I'll kill you.
I was surprised.
He's my boyfriend.
I know. I was surprised because it wasn't something I was planning on seeing, but I'm glad that I got talked into it because it was really worth
Good.
it. So I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you like Ryan Reynolds.
He's my hero.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that man does and touches is gold.
There's also some funny cameos too.
I
won't
want him
tell
to
you.
touch me.
Can't even tell him that? Cameos?
I can't tell him who's in there. No.
Alright.
But watch the end credits though. It's funny.
I know I'm a stickler about that stuff. I just I don't know.
It's really clever too.
I think it has something to do with being an overthinker and having anxiety. I not to bring everything down. I think it's kind of funny because if I'm thinking about dating somebody, like I've already been married to them and have had kids with them. I've grown old with them because my brain does not
They
stop.
already have a restraining order against you.
Depending
Depending
on
on different scenarios you've
right
played
that
out.
I've gone through. I'm not.
It's
I mean,
like-
I'm really not kidding.
It's like that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where Picard lives the entire other life.
Yeah,
That's you.
that's me, and I just do it in my head for
You have a
15
flute
minutes.
in your room. You just play it to remember the other life.
Am I that dainty? Because
No.
that's a dainty item he utilizes.
All right, you got a guitar.
There we go. Yeah, one that's like actually an axe with strings. If I get a spoiler, I literally cannot stop thinking about it, and then I just go into what it could be, what part of the movie, what led to it. I just do all this, and it's really annoying. I don't know.
I do it too. I really do. So,
The only movies that doesn't happen with is porn.
well, there's not much to like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a one-trick pony.
Well, you say that.
I want you to watch this porno called One Trick Pony.
Speaking of horse husbandry, oh no, we've come full circle, and it's not good.
No.
John's done with everything.
John's
He's just
leaving.
like, you know what? He's on his phone.
He's reading ESPN. So I was thinking, and I told you guys this in text, I'm feeling charitable lately. You know, I want to give. And so I was looking up at some unique charities that we might be able to give to, or just examples of unique charities. So
You found that tax loophole, it sounds like.
I did. Thank you very much. It's Uncle Sam looking the other way. So I found some, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to look some up, but I want to share what I found. Well, I'm going to tell you the top 10 most bizarre charities. This is from a site called Multa. Looks like someone's blog, so take that for a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure that this is true. Feel free to fact check. There is a charity for bras and panties and underwear. Relatively common in media-centric cities is the practice of auctioning off one's unmentionables so that the sale money can go towards philanthropy. Celebrities such as how do you say that?
Where are we at?
Evangeline Lilly.
Oh, Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, whatever. Have done it.
Sometimes I worry about you.
You know who she is.
Yeah, I know. I just had a brain
Good.
stall out there.
It's dementia setting in. He just had a birthday.
I know. It's
She's
time.
the Wasp.
I know. She's also in The Hobbit.
Yeah, and Lost.
Yep. While most people who donate don't disclose whether they've actually worn the auctioned item, there are undoubtedly many people who would pay a healthy sum just to hold a pair of panties that she even touched. So that's gross.
That's the one I'm doing.
Okay.
Sorry, will you just click the share button back on that one charity with Evangeline Lilly and just send it to me? No reason. I just wanted to read it because I wasn't listening.
Well, it's actually kind of gross and funny that a lot of people do sell their panties online. And
It's craziness.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
I'll buy the first pair. How long are you gonna wear them for?
Like, why does this have a pee stain on it?
The more DNA I can get of you, the better.
Oh, gross. Naked clowns. So the dress
I thought
code
about that one too.
of these multiple sclerosis research fundraisers have been very lax. The hosts have taken to wearing birthday suits with the goal of raising $1 million for donation to the cause of finding a cure for MS. The Naked Clowns have been performing across America from 2008 to 2009, and for each member of the Naked Clowns troupe, the disease of multiple sclerosis hits home because of one common link: their beloved role model. Throughout the 1960s and 80s, Judy Finelli established himself as a masterful juggler. Apparently he got sick, blah, 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 blah. But these clowns are naked, so they go around performing naked, and you pay them to see this, and they give to multiple sclerosis fighting.
We talked about naked clowns in the Eileen Dobbins episode.
Did we?
Wondering if the face paint goes all the way down. We talked about the clown wig merkins and the ball at the end of it that makes a bicycle horn noise when you squeezed it.
So you think that's what's going on in this charity performance?
I hope so.
I have a
I
theory,
would donate if that's what that is.
He only uses the, hey, let's look at a charity thing as an excuse. He was looking up to see whether or not the clown's makeup went all the way. He was looking for pictures.
He was looking up clown porn.
Yeah.
The charity pulls up. It's like, oh.
That'd be funny.
It's like, all right.
All right, so here's number one, the Chilean charity prostitute. This 2007 event was as strange as it sounds and was absolutely real, and I can't make any jokes about it that haven't been already. High-class Chilean escort Maria Carolina posed to donate to the cause of handicapped children, claimed she would accept 27 hours worth of sex, for which she'd donate the proceeds. And she said, "I'm going to contribute with my work to a purpose that touches me deeply." As she was quoted from an online publication that later described her as spreading her message. So yeah, that and there's a website here that I'm not going to give out, but you can look it up. Maria Carolina. I don't know if she's still doing it because that was a decade ago, but be charitable. If you're going to get your freak on, you might as well help handicapped kids in the process.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, this is just a website of naked people. No, I'm just kidding. Looks like Warwick University Rowing Club's naked calendar is something that you don't want to miss. There's both a men's and women's team. They pose nude to help raise money for charity, and I guess it's really successful. I guess it's mainly just the men, but they did release a women's edition for charity. Sell the naked calendars.
Nice. It's all about the charity.
Oh, it's totally about the charity. So
I'd like to donate immediately.
I don't think they take what you're wanting to donate.
Oh.
At some places they do.
They even pay you.
Also, PETA employed this tactic. They had cruelty-free ad, "Be nice to bunnies," with a very attractive young lady holding a bunny in strategic places. Then there is a squid on top of a lady. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, charities, creative ways to raise money for good causes, I guess.
Nice.
Handing it off to you, John.
All right, well, this one I looked up, where I stumbled upon, I guess you could say. It's called Welfare Group Disabled and Sexuality. Wondering if there's something lost in translation in the phrasing of it, but it says, why just rouse the spirits of the physically disabled when you can rouse other things? The Swedish-based welfare group Disabled and Sexuality arranges services such as erotic massage for the physically disabled for around 65 Swedish dollars. I have no idea how much that is.
Don't you have a bad back, Zach?
Yeah.
I think you could get in on this.
I'm not Swedish.
Oh.
It says they became noteworthy in 2006 when they decided to expand their services by providing full intercourse. The Swedish government doesn't just allow this charity to exist. The majority of their funding comes from a Swedish government grant in addition to charitable donations.
What?
Yeah, I had heard about this.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
Larry Flint has given us so much opportunities for self-love. Let's give him some back. Disabled people need loving too, and apparently in Sweden it's legal to pay for it. So yeah.
Huh.
Well, that's
Welfare
move.
Group Disabled and Sexuality. They are worthy of our money.
I'm making 2 donations this month, apparently.
well.
Who doesn't need a good erotic massage sometimes? They get all I know is they get mad when you ask for that at those seated massage kiosks at the mall.
You know, they're
When
in
you ask
business for a reason. What's their problem?
Yeah, when you get those 5-minute shoulder massages and you ask
Yeah.
for a happy ending, they kick you out.
And call the police.
What the hell, people?
See, I always like to just do the massage chairs and do a happy ending in those malls.
Just by yourself?
Yeah, so I'm in Facebook jail, and now I'm going to be in real jail.
You know, they set those massage chairs sometimes up by the calendar kiosks, you know, at Christmas time. They got some pretty saucy calendars in there. I can just see, you know, convenience, just in case you want to know. So.
Thank you. I know where I'll be spending a lot of time this season.
So yeah, that's my charity that we all should donate to.
I love it.
Look, Mom, it's young Santa. What's he doing? Because you have a big red beard right now.
Oh.
I saw one more that I tried to
I'm
find.
Santa age.
I couldn't find it again when I looked for it, but it was an old GoFundMe page. Someone was trying to do an erotic cat calendar. He had a picture of an extremely overweight cat kind of sitting on its back, showing its stomach and business, and said he wanted money to create an erotic cat calendar. And he got a $35 donation from one donor.
Jason.
Probably Jason.
I don't like cats. It wasn't me.
He's like, oh yeah. I want to see that calendar.
I don't like cats. It's because he can't figure out why he secretly finds them attractive.
Yeah, you got me.
I couldn't find that one again though, but I saw it yesterday, so
Yeah,
I guess that one won't be happening. That won't get any of my money.
Aw.
I know someone here opened a GoFundMe one time. It was Zach to Learn to Read Fund.
Yeah.
And you got money.
No, not. It was to count to 1,000,000.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never counted to 1,000,000, and I really wanted to, and your funds could have really helped out, but I got $10. 2 different people donated $5 a piece. It was pretty great. Although I do have to say, I don't care for GoFundMe's policy of that the least amount you can donate is $5.
Yeah.
You want to donate like 28 cents or something.
Yeah, there's certain
random amount.
There's certain GoFundMe's out there that I think are ridiculous, and I want to give them money, but I want to insult them.
Yes.
Here's $1.14.
It's like, save my child from cancer.
Aww.
Zach's just mean. Oh, your child has cancer.
Take that, Patrick Ward! Like, I'm mad at him, but I'm taking it out on some poor family on GoFundMe.
They're like, we were just 28 cents shy of saving our child.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
My charity is naturally penis related. This is on Wokingham Today.
What?
Well, it's British. So
Okay.
this is written by Phil Creighton on Thursday, February 14th, 2019 at exactly 11:27 a.m., you guys.
Oh, nice.
Poor Phil Creighton has gotten 0 comments on his article, and maybe I'll leave him one. Or maybe half a one, because I want to insult him. All right, it's called Orchid Willy Waddle. Write your own headline, we found it too hard. All right. A group of fundraisers went on a pub crawl with a different something on Saturday. He forgot a word. Good job, Phil. They were all dressed as part of a man's anatomy. The Willy Waddle started in Reading pub The Ale House, taking in several different boozers before returning to their local for a well-earned drink. A plan to end at Bingham's tap room, blah, blah, blah. All right, on their way, the Jolly John Thomases collected coins for the male cancer charity Orchid. The fun team also helped raise awareness for this year's Twyford Beer Festival. So, organizer Ian Wisdom said, "This is our 10th year of running the beer festival, and so far we have managed to send more than 60,000 euros or pounds or whatever they're using over there now.
Foreign dollars.
Foreign dollars, ethnic dollars,
Ethnic dollars.
to the Orchid charity. So that's pretty good. 60,000 in any money is, 60,000 in that money. So all proceeds go to Orchid, but these dudes are running around anyway in penis costumes. They look like giant dicks, and they walk around as such.
Well,
Nice.
yeah. Anything for the cause.
I'd love to bring this to the United States. By myself on the bus. And I'll wear the costume, but I'll also have my dick out.
I think you just crossed the line from funny to felony.
Either way.
It's still both.
It doesn't need to be a school bus, Zach.
My life of crime started not 15 minutes ago with the banning on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to keep bringing it up.
You're in Facebook jail. I love it. So much for inclusivity.
So yeah, that's what I had.
You should play the race card with Facebook and say it's because you're a ginger.
That's brilliant. I mean, I'm a minority. Did you know there are only 2 to 6% gingers in the United States?
Wow, you are a minority.
Yeah, I think one of the minorities being black people. I don't want to say it wrong and get racist comments for Patrick. Not actually, he seems like a racist, honestly. Anyway, I need to stop. I can't think though.
You want John to jiggle your
Black
mouse?
people make up 13%, I think is what I read.
Okay.
So we're a much smaller minority,
Yeah,
and so I'm going to use that
you're a
on
smaller
Facebook
group.
as a
Yeah, I think you should.
Yep.
Mark Zuckerberg and his racist ways. Now that guy looks like a robot.
Yeah.
Or an alien robot.
It's always pasty, always sweaty. Like, do they know I'm a lizard person? He's always nervous.
Well, it's funny, like, when you see him testify before Congress, he's got to, like, process the questions. I mean, I get that maybe he's just trying to carefully answer, but it looks like he's trying to, like, translate it from Largardian into English.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yeah, he
picks
does.
up his water and drinks it, But, he doesn't really drink it because water's poison to his race.
Right.
So he just kind of touches it and puts it back down.
This is a tasty beverage that humans drink. Thank you.
Thank you for the... He spells it out, like hydrogen and
Yeah.
two molecules of oxygen or whatever.
I have to pee.
I failed chemistry. Pee break?
Yeah.
Okay, pee break.
You want to go with me or?
I'm gonna. Well, I don't have a urinal trough yet.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
I want a urinal trough. It's good for male bonding.
So
Back
I
from
was
pee break.
interested to find on your bathroom sink some reading material. Equus? Horse magazine? Magazine about horses? I just thought that was
It's
interesting.
not really about horses. It's more pictures of horses doing certain activities. Horse things. And I want you guys to be gone before 8 p.m. because that's when UPS is bringing the other thing I ordered.
Oh, no. They're backing it up on a flatbed truck.
All right, guys, bring it around back. Don't want the neighbors to see.
They're all, like, all the guys that are unloading it. They're like, what are you doing with this big horse milking machine, sir? You don't have any horses.
Yep. I do not.
Real loud.
Well, that was awful. So that was not really our show and tell. That was just kind of a fun little exercise in trying to find something funny.
And yet somehow we're already at an hour.
Are we really?
No, not really. Wait, yes we are. We're at an hour, 2 minutes.
Oh, maybe we better cut it short.
You may have more editing than usual on this episode.
Yeah, I'm going to have to edit Patrick Ward's name multiple times.
Just his last name.
We can't get in trouble for making comedic jokes, can we?
I don't know. It depends.
I'm looking for an opportunity to have to, like, get on my social media and apologize to the masses. Like, I'm looking for that opportunity for a reason.
It's a good marketing play, too. Like, I apologize for what I said in the last episode of Dysfunctional Adults.
And what I'm going to say in the next episode.
Yeah. I didn't mean... Just make a bunch of crap. Like, I didn't mean for the cops to get involved. And people will be like, oh, man, I got to listen to this. And then they'll be really upset that there's nothing like that in it. And then they'll probably be angry and leave angry comments. And we'll just read it and the cycle will continue.
Well, here's one. Burglar sues homeowner after being raped by German shepherds while stuck in house's pet door. I don't know. Don't steal?
Do the crime. Get raped by a German shepherd.
That's how the saying goes, right?
Yeah. So, I've got a funny story, and it's kind of sad and also funny, but mostly funny. So, this story is from Kentucky. Kentucky man digs up his dad's grave to win an argument. Now, we've all argued with our fathers or parents, and I think we all sometimes go to great lengths to win that argument. But I don't know that this is what I would do.
But you don't know it's not what you do. You sounded like you were kind of on the fence about that.
Right. So this is an article by Christopher Cobble, Esquire, from August 20th, 2015. So it's a few years ago. But he says, we've all had that moment, right? Just after a heated exchange, we think of the exact thing to say. Well, what if it doesn't hit you until 30 years later? Is that too late to pick up the argument again? One man in Kentucky didn't think so, and his effort to win an argument with his deceased father landed him in jail.
Wow.
I know you are, but what am I? Now, most of us will just have to deal with the frustration of crafting the perfect comeback long after an argument has ended. But Michael May was in the process of digging up his father's grave in Sanford, Kentucky cemetery when Lincoln County Constable Delbert Mitchell spotted him. I went back and hollered for him to step back in the light, and he told me to step back to the dark, Mitchell told WLEX 18. That's when I went and got my flashlight. He started hollering out Bible verses at me. Wave 3 News reported May was trying to exhume his father's remains to argue with him, an indication of how sound May thought his side of the fight was, or an indication of how strong the marijuana officers found on him was.
Wow.
May was unrepentant in a jailhouse interview. Reporter, do you believe that you belong in here, in jail? Suspect, no. Reporter, tell me why. Suspect, I didn't do anything wrong. Reporter, do you feel that you were violating a grave? Suspect, no. Suspect, I see the truth. He needs to be on the ground, not under it.
Oh my goodness. That must have been laced with, like, PCP. That's some
Must
crazy
have been.
talk.
That's crazy drug talk. Actually, Michael violating a grave is a crime in Kentucky and just about everywhere else. I want to know where it's not.
Just about, like, she has some secret information. I'd like her to impart that information.
And it's probably good officers got to you before you made it to your dad's body, seeing as how abuse of a corpse is also a crime. According to the statute, a person is guilty of abuse of a corpse when, except as authorized by law, he intentionally treats a corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities. But this doesn't sound like your ordinary family. May said he might try digging up his dad again. It's a possibility. If the truth doesn't come out and nobody sees the truth, yeah, I'll do it again.
So you're telling me if a judge were to come out there and be like, yeah, no, that's fine. You can go ahead and punch your dead father in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. If a judge did it, for sure. But then I think the other family members could sue the court. And it would just... But I think what they're talking about is like exhumations for criminal investigations.
Yeah.
So in this case, it kind of sounds like that's what it was, according to the dude. You know, those are. Anyway.
There's actually another reason to dig up a corpse, which is non-sexual, that I have in one of my shows.
What is wrong with you guys?
What is wrong with
I'm
us,
over here with
Zach?
clean quality content, and y'all are mucking it up.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Man arrested for training dog to throw bricks at people, ringing his doorbell. And there's a picture of this giant pit bull, like one of those really like raging, strong-looking ones,
I
like
saw
steroid dogs.
Picture. These aren't just bricks; those are like half a cinder block.
Yeah,
or something.
it's half a cinder block, literally.
Is he on the roof?
Yeah. I mean, he's adorable.
Oh yeah, it is cute.
Adorably deadly.
You like look up, you're like, oh, and then smack. Cinder block to the face. I just could see like Jehovah's Witnesses coming to the door, you know. Get him.
Raining cinder blocks. Let's get out of here.
Alabama man, closely related to the Florida man, 35, is charged with illegally owning an attack squirrel he fed meth and called D's Nuts.
That's a perfect name for a meth addict squirrel.
I need more information on this story. I really should have looked it up.
I mean, Alabama's right above the panhandle of Florida, so it's spreading.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a pandemic.
With an army of meth squirrels.
Gotta admit, that's a pretty clever name for a
D's Nuts.
a meth addict squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrels offend me, and I don't know why. They just bother me. Like, they're rats. They're tree rats.
Why do you hate them so?
Because they're everywhere. And they weren't, like, years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you used to be able to just, like, carry a gun in public and shoot them, probably.
Well,
Right.
when we were kids, there was not squirrels around here.
No.
But now the whole west side of Salt Lake is, like, overrun with them.
Yeah.
It's
Like where his mom lives, where I still take my kids to daycare.
Uh-huh.
They're everywhere. My old house, I just moved out of 10 months ago. They were all over.
They're, like, throwing up gang signs.
Yeah, they were all over.
They wear
yeah.
little bandanas. They're blue and red. You know?
I mean, they're West Side squirrels, right?
They're coming to the east side, too, but they're all over.
Well,
on
just
the
to
west
break
side.
into the cars that are expensive.
Yeah.
No, my dog hates them, too. Like, in the morning when I take her out to pee, like, if I'm not careful, she'll just, like, launch off the porch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's racist, too.
She is. She hates squirrels. She'll, like, try and chase them up the tree, and it's... I have to start holding the leash with my left hand because I dislocated my right arm a few years ago, and I don't want it to happen again.
Oh, yeah.
So
And your dog's big.
I could see it happening. She almost pulled me off the porch one time.
Probably deserved it.
Well, maybe, but that's... Anyway, so John, let's turn the time over to you. What do you have for the class today?
All right. Well, seeing as school is starting and all that, I thought I'd educate us with a history lesson. These are all bizarre moments in actual human history.
Okay. If my birthday's on there, so help me.
Famous conqueror Napoleon Bonaparte was once attacked by a horde of bunnies. He had requested that a rabbit hunt be arranged for himself and his men. But when the 3,000 plus rabbits were released from their cages, the bunnies charged towards Bonaparte and his men in an unstoppable onslaught. That's awesome.
I wish there was video of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All we have to do is find a phone booth and travel through time.
You know, I had no idea that was a Doctor Who spoof until years later.
Oh,
When
Bill
I-
and Ted?
Bill and Ted, when I saw Bill and Ted.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't
either.
think about that either.
Because of
Huh.
the TARDIS,
Phone
right?
booth,
It's
yeah.
a phone booth.
Yeah.
So I
It
didn't,
never occurred to me.
I really didn't realize they were making fun of that.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. Former President Andrew Jackson had a pet parrot named Polly, which he taught to curse like a sailor. In 1845, at Jackson's funeral, the parrot had to be removed from the funeral because it would not stop swearing loudly.
Aw. You know it was sad.
Yeah. In 1386, a pig was executed in France.
Rightfully so.
The pig had attacked a child who later died from his wounds. The pig was arrested, kept in prison, and then sent to court where it stood trial for murder, was found guilty, and then executed by hanging.
Damn right.
That's some good use of taxpayer money right there, isn't it?
Did they have a luau afterwards? I'm just asking for a friend.
I hope so.
A Hawaiian.
Get to the bacon part.
In ancient Asia, death by elephant was a popular form of execution. The elephants could be taught to slowly break bones, crush skulls, twist off limbs, or even behead people using large blades fitted to their tusks.
That's kind of awesome.
I want this to be a thing.
In some parts of Asia, this method of execution was still popular up to the late 19th century.
What, did they lose their sense of humor? Like,
Apparently so.
Like the last elephant executioner. Did they get like big black hoods for the elephants?
Oh man, I hope so.
yeah. But think about the depression the elephants probably go through.
Yeah.
You know, PTSD from having murdered human beings.
Well, they forget it when you give them peanuts.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wait, no, an elephant never forgets.
That's true.
They just learn to live with it.
Some even learn to like it.
Oh no.
I'm going to write a story, guys. I'll be back.
Oh great, elephant erotica. Anyway.
It's all about the trunk.
Roman Emperor Gaius, also known as Caligula, made one of his favorite horses a senator.
That's awesome.
You know-
Government. The emperor loved his horse named Incitatus so much that he gave him a marble stall, an ivory manger, a jeweled collar, and even a house with servants. Caligula also allegedly planned to make his trusty steed a consul, which is like a chief magistrate. It's an even higher government position before his assassination.
The horse's assassination?
The emperor, I
Oh, okay.
assume. But
You know,
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it couldn't do any worse than our senators.
Right, no. It might do better.
I think so.
Now, the horse's name, you know, it's Latin, so it sounds very... But
Yeah,
it probably
yeah.
translates to, like, daisy or something
yeah,
cute, you know?
chestnut or
Yeah.
something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or senator.
He foretold the future.
Yes.
That's
I will
Senator
have ruined it.
Incitatus to you, Zach. I like this one. In the 1800s, speed surgery was a thing. Because anesthesia didn't exist yet, and they had to perform surgeries while the person was awake, the sooner they could finish,
Did they
the better.
really?
That's what it says.
There's ether. They had stuff that could knock the person out.
Right?
However, the fastest speed surgeon ever ended up performing a battlefield operation with a 300% mortality rate. Surgeon Robert Liston was considered the fastest knife in the West. But when performing a battlefield amputation in front of a group of spectators, Liston cut through his patient's leg so quickly that he accidentally also cut the fingers off the person who was helping him. He had also sliced backwards and cut through the coat of an elderly man who was watching the surgery. The elderly man saw the cut in his coat and assumed his body must have been cut and had a heart attack and died. Then Liston's patient and his assistant died of blood poisoning from their joint amputation. Therefore, a surgery that was meant to save one person ended up killing 3.
It's not about quantity or quality.
It's just about speed. Hey, can you jiggle my mouse again?
Like, how many times does it take, honestly? 4 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pope Gregory IV declared war on cats in the 13th century. He said that black cats were instruments of Satan. Because of this belief, he ordered
He's not wrong.
he ordered the extermination of all felines throughout Europe. However, this plan backfired as it resulted in an increase in rats, which of course carried the bubonic plague that decimated Europe a few decades later.
Did you learn your lesson after you were reincarnated, dummy?
Yeah.
So be nice to cats, people.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't screw with the balance.
No.
In 1923, a jockey died in the middle of a race and still won.
Awesome.
Frank Hayes suffered a heart attack in the middle of a race, but managed to stay on the horse till he reached the finish line. Sadly, it was the first race he had ever won,
Oh.
obviously also his last, and he never got to enjoy it.
Oh, that's so sad.
Because all the ladies be about jockey sex.
Do they though? Do they really? Maybe.
That's why
You
it's
were
like-
going to be a jockey. I remember you talking about it in high school. You were studying
Yeah,
for
but they're like, you're too fat.
it. I'll ride an elephant, guys.
One who can double as an executioner.
I have very specific needs.
During World War II, a Great Dane named Juliana was awarded the Blue Cross Medal in 1941 after she extinguished an incendiary bomb by peeing on it.
Aw,
I could do that.
You go, dog.
that's awesome.
I love this next one because of the complete lack of research and planning that went into it. In 1908, there was a car race around the world that started in New York City. The route went from New York City to San Francisco, then up to Valdez, Alaska, across the Bering Strait through Russia and Europe, with the finish line in Paris.
Okay.
But what you might have thought is, how in the world can a car get across the Pacific? Well, duh, they drive across the Bering Strait between Alaska and Russia during the winter when it froze into an icy bridge, silly.
Oh my gosh.
Of
You know,
course.
the same way it's believed the mammoths and other Ice Age creatures came
Right.
over. The race began in February of 1908 and immediately ran into challenges. For one, cars in 1908 sucked, and they broke down multiple times. There was a lack of usable roads. A lot of people at the time hated cars, and so when they passed a town, the people would deliberately give the wrong directions. And oh yeah, since they waited for the winter, snow. And cars from 1908 weren't really built to deal with that. The first team reached San Francisco in 41 days, but then quickly realized that the proposed route from San Francisco to Alaska did not exist. So the organizers allowed them to ship their cars to Valdez, Alaska, and then they'd continue on to the ice bridge. But once in Valdez, Alaska, the teams found out that, oh wait, there is no ice bridge across the Bering Strait because it melted 20,000 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
You'd think someone could have done some research on this. Small oversight. Organizers then allowed teams to ship their cars across the Pacific to Japan and then again to Russia to carry on. Despite all unpredictable and hilariously predictable odds, the winning team arrived in Paris 169 days later.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't that sound like it should have been made a movie back in the 70s or 80s? Like
Yeah.
starring Burt Reynolds? It's like the incompetent version of Cannonball Run or something.
Add in the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote while you're at it.
You think this is the type of stuff someone could have researched in advance
Well, when you said the Bering Strait, I'm like, wait a minute.
between Alaska and
Yeah,
Russia?
I'm like, I think that's gone.
Yeah.
20,000 years ago, it says. Here's one that goes back to that digging up a corpse thing you said. In the year
This is your fault.
In the
Yes.
year 896, so it's been a while, Pope Stephen V had his penultimate predecessor, Pope Formosus, put on trial for blasphemy, despite the fact that Pope Formosus had been dead for 7 months. He had his remains dug up, they dressed him up, propped him up on the throne, and appointed a deacon to answer for him. The corpse...
Sorry, I just... Talking out the side of his mouth.
The corpse was found guilty, stripped of its sacred vestments. It had 3 fingers of its right hand cut off in punishment, the blessing fingers. It was clad in the garb of a layman, and then quickly thrown into Tiber River as punishment. Nice.
That's where they threw the pig too. Like he's like, what?
Yeah.
You too?
And lastly, if you're like me and have spent countless sleepless nights pondering the age-old question, hey, does a man get an erection after he's hanged to death? The answer is quite often yes. It says, indeed, death by hanging is often reported to be closely followed by a boner. Death erections, colloquially known as angel lust, is often attributed to pressure on the cerebellum created by the noose exiting the nerves.
Or the dude just got outed for his freaky fetish.
When people are hanged, they nearly always get erections, and they nearly also always release their seed. In fact, the 7-inch mummified penis of a hanged 18th century nobleman is on display at the Victor Wynne Museum of Curiosities, Fine Art, and Natural History in Hackney, London.
Oh my gosh.
The artifact cost more than $128,000 to buy, so the museum is currently renting it for $3,200.
Renting a boner?
The penis, a.k.a. the world's longest standing erection, will remain on display for the next year.
What year was this
This
article?
was 2017.
Damn
so
it.
it's,
Okay, I missed it.
it's gone now, but if you have $128,000, you can just buy it.
I wonder if they'd rent it to me.
Zach's like, I could get a house, or I could get a mummified boner. You just see him,
Anyway,
like, sleeping on the side of the road. Best purchase ever!
Yeah, I'd use it as a cod piece, to be honest.
Oh.
What?
so yeah, that's some great moments in history in honor of school opening up.
In honor of
Nice.
school
Because
opening up.
we're educational.
Right.
We're here to teach people. That's what this podcast is all about. If we make people laugh, that's great.
Right.
But I want them to learn something.
And you
first
always do
foremost.
have something good to teach people. Like the Olympics thing, that was a good one. I mean, it's history.
It is.
That's
yeah.
true.
You should be an honorary teacher. They should give you like a certificate.
But this is the kind
send
of
this
crap
to-
I'll look up and teach the kids.
Yeah. Check out this boner, guys.
And that's the last time he taught kindergarten.
I really like that car race one. How no one thought to look this stuff up. I guess it was 1908. There's no like Google. You can just look it up.
Yeah, but
They just made assumptions the entire way.
pretty sure it was a known fact that the Bering Strait was gone.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I don't
I
know
mean,
why they just assume that there must be roads from San Francisco to Alaska, even though
Right.
cars have only been around 15 years and
public education has always been public education.
roads pretty much only existed in like major metropolitan areas. But there's got to be roads going up through the Yukon into Alaska.
I think they just overestimated the ability of their cars.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
they, like, yeah, great. It's a powerful, like, a new technology, but it doesn't make it dummy-proof.
Revulcanize my tires, post haste.
So, yeah.
So let's go for another 45 minutes.
Yeah, last time I heard that.
Yeah.
But
That's why I got those pills from Roman. Roman is not actually
a sponsor
yet.
Once they find out our demographic, we'll be showing back up on your timeline.
Yep.
What's your name?
Pissing people off.
Patrick.
Patrick Ward.
Patrick Ward. Mr. Wolf.
Grr.
Oh, all right, well, guys, thanks for listening again. I hope you enjoyed it. Please send us your comments, both good and bad.
I hope you didn't enjoy it, any of you.
Well, if they're good, we'll probably not talk about them. But if they're bad, you better believe we'll probably feature them. So
Yeah, I'll probably get banned again.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe to get Zach out of Facebook jail.
I don't know if that's how that works. But I mean, we could use the money.
Right. So,
We could make a GoFundMe or Patreon. Like, people donate in the same process that, like, when you were a kid, like, you had to jump rope so many times and people would give you money. You say, oh, I'm going to jump rope 500
Isn't
times.
that just what OnlyFans is, except different activities?
Sure, but we'll just see how many times and for how long I can get banned on Facebook for being a complete asshole to people.
You're just going to keep being reincarnated with different Facebook accounts.
Yep. Zach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep.
Until Mark calls you personally and says, please, just go to
Stop
Twitter.
saying that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for listening, and let us know what you think and rate this podcast if you don't.
Leave us comments. We love comments.
We do love comments. So,
Yeah.
and Patrick, you'll be hearing from our lawyers. That's all.
Yeah, guys.
Bye. Go ahead, jiggle that mouse again.
I'm going to jiggle the mouse.
Fourth time is the